Welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into a classic masterpiece of misunderstandings, Demon King Daimao. Meet our hero, Akuto Sai. He is an orphan with a heart of gold. He's heading to the Constant Magic Academy with one pure goal: to become a high priest and make the world a better place. On the train there, he meets a sword-wielding girl named Junko. They instantly click. They make a blood oath to bring justice to the world. It's wholesome, it's sweet, and it is about to go horribly wrong. Because in this anime, no good deed goes unpunished, and Akuto is about to have the worst first day of school in anime history. They arrive at the academy, and it's time for the career aptitude test. But instead of a written exam, a magical spirit bird sits on your hand and yells out your future job. One student gets delivery man, another gets clerk. Akuto steps up, feeling confident. He knows he's destined for greatness. The bird looks at him, the room goes silent, and the bird screams, "Demon King." The Demon King is the ultimate evil who almost destroyed the world a century ago. Instantly, the entire school looks at Akuto like he is a walking nuclear bomb. The girl he made a blood oath with, Junko, pulls out her sword and wants to end him on the spot. This sets up the core comedy of the entire show. Akuto is genuinely a nice guy, but he has the magical equivalent of resting villain face. Every time he tries to explain himself, his massive dark magic aura flares up and terrifies everyone. He tries to help a weird, airheaded girl named Kina, who wears a bird on her head, but it just looks like he's bullying her. This episode perfectly establishes the task failed successfully trope. Akuto isn't trying to be evil, but the universe is practically forcing him into the boss-villain role. The harder he tries to prove he's a good boy, the more he looks like a tyrannical Dark Lord. The episode ends with Akuto sitting in his dorm, completely alienated, wondering how his life fell apart in exactly 5 minutes. He has a target on his back. The student council wants him dead, and a weird girl is sleeping in his closet. Can he clear his name, or is he doomed to be the bad guy? Akuto wakes up, hoping yesterday was just a bad dream. Nope, he is still officially the future Demon King. Everyone in the hallway runs away from him like he has a plague. He decides the best way to fix this is to just keep his head down, get good grades, and show everyone his gentle side. But there is a massive problem. Akuto's mana levels are completely broken. He is a level 100 boss, trying to pretend he is a level 1 NPC, and his powers are leaking everywhere. It's time for basic magic training. The teacher asks the students to do a simple exercise. Channel a tiny bit of mana into a crystal. When Akuto touches the crystal, it doesn't just glow. It overloads, shatters, and creates a massive magical explosion that blows the windows out of the classroom. To the other students, it looks like a calculated terrorist attack. Junko, the girl who now hates him, challenges him to a formal duel to protect the school's honor. Akuto accepts, hoping to just disarm her peacefully. But during the fight, his overwhelming magic accidentally dissolves her clothes instead of her armor. It is the ultimate anime misunderstanding. Now he's not just a demon king, he looks like a giant creep. Things get even crazier when the government steps in. Because Akuto is a certified threat, they assign an observer to watch him 24/7. Her name is Korone. She looks like a cute maid with rabbit ears, but she is actually a highly advanced, deadpan android who carries a massive arsenal of weapons in her purse. Korone's job is to assassinate Akuto the second he steps out of line. But instead of being intimidating, she just constantly trolls him, sleeps in his bed, and embarrasses him in public. She adds a hilarious dynamic to the group. Akuto is now surrounded by a girl who wants to kill him, a girl who doesn't understand personal space, and a robot who completely ignores boundaries. Despite destroying the classroom and ruining a duel, Akuto somehow survives his first week, but the rumors are spreading fast. The school's underground factions have noticed him. Someone doesn't want to kill the Demon King, they want to control him. A new challenger is approaching, and she is playing dirty. Up until now, everyone has tried to avoid Akuto or fight him, but what happens when someone actually wants the Demon King around? Enter Fujiko Eto. She is the head of the girls' dorm, beautiful, rich, and secretly runs an underground black magic gang. While Junko wants to destroy Akuto, Fujiko sees a business opportunity. If she can make the Demon King fall in love with her, she can essentially rule the world from the shadows. She is cunning, manipulative, and completely underestimating our dense hero. Fujiko invites Akuto to her private quarters. She tries every trick in the book. She serves him fancy tea, flatters his ego, and uses hypnotic magic to make him lower his guard. But Akuto's mind is just built differently. He completely misses all her romantic signals. When she tries to get close, his chaotic magic acts up again, causing more property damage and ruining her plans. Frustrated but desperate, Fujiko realizes that Kina is close to Akuto, so she tries to use Kina as a pawn in her schemes. But this triggers a huge character moment for Akuto. He might look scary, but he is fiercely protective of his friends. When he realizes people are messing with Kina, he gets genuinely angry. He unleashes his terrifying magical pressure, not to be evil, but to protect an innocent girl. It's the classic "don't mess with my friends" anime trope, but because he is the Demon King, his version of protecting someone looks like a supervillain threatening the city. Fujiko realizes she absolutely cannot control Akuto by force, but now she is completely obsessed with him. She becomes his weird, dark magic stalker. Meanwhile, Akuto realizes Kina is skipping classes and acting strange. He decides to investigate, which leads to a massive discovery hidden right inside the school walls. What is Kina hiding? Akuto is trying to be a responsible student, so he goes looking for Kina, who has been skipping class. He follows her and discovers something insane. Kina doesn't live in a normal dorm room. She lives in a hidden, abandoned, magical secret room, tucked away deep inside the school. It's full of ancient junk, weird artifacts, and dust. This perfectly highlights how isolated Kina really is. But because this is Demon King Daimao, a sweet moment of Akuto checking on his friend turns into a massive plot point. Before they can even plan a dungeon raid, the comedy goes off the rails. The android observer, Korone, is still following Akuto everywhere. She literally has zero concept of personal space or privacy. She constantly pops out of nowhere to troll him. We get a hilarious sequence of misunderstandings where Junko walks in on Akuto, Kana, and Korone in highly questionable accidental situations. Junko's brain short circuits. She is constantly torn between Akuto is the evil Demon King and Akuto is just a massive pervert. The humor here is fast-paced and chaotic, perfectly balancing the dark fantasy lore with classic high school anime nonsense. Before they can even plan a dungeon raid, the comedy goes off the rails. The jokes have to pause, though, because the map is glowing. The entrance to the underground labyrinth has been found. Fujiko wants the treasure for her family. Junko wants to make sure Akuto doesn't do anything evil. And Akuto just wants to make sure nobody gets hurt. The group stands at the dark, creepy entrance. It is time for a dungeon crawl. The slice of life school comedy takes a break, and we dive straight into action fantasy. Akuto, Junko, Kina, and Fujiko enter the forbidden underground labyrinth. The place is dark, creepy, and loaded with ancient magical traps. Usually, a dungeon like this would take a whole team of skilled adventurers to clear, but Akuto's mana is so absurdly high that he accidentally breaks the traps just by walking near them. His mere presence is brute forcing the dungeon puzzles. It's hilarious, but the fun stops when they reach the deepest chamber. They enter a massive cavern, and two glowing red eyes open in the dark. They haven't just found treasure, they've woken up Peterhausen, a legendary skyscraper-sized dragon. This beast was the personal familiar of the last Demon King. It's been asleep for a century. When it smells Akuto's dark mana, it goes completely berserk. It doesn't just submit to him. A dragon demands proof of absolute strength. Akuto tells the girls to run. He has no choice. He coats his fists in raw, concentrated dark energy and goes toe-to-toe with a mythical beast. The fight animation here is awesome. Akuto dodges massive blasts of fire and strikes back with shockwaves that rattle the entire underground. Finally, Akuto lands a devastating overpowered punch that shatters the dragon's massive magical fang. Peterhausen is stunned. Instead of getting angrier, the dragon stops. It bows its massive head to the ground. It recognizes Akuto's overwhelming power. In a flash of magic, the dragon telepathically bonds with him. Akuto just wanted to survive a school trip, and he accidentally tamed a weapon of mass destruction. To make it easier to carry, Peterhausen shrinks down into a cute bite-sized form. They exit the dungeon, but the damage to Akuto's reputation is permanent. Up until now, he could argue the Demon King title was a glitch, but you can't really play the innocent normal student card when you literally adopt the Demon King's legendary dragon. The entire school is terrified. The government is panicking. Korone analyzes Akuto and decides his stress levels are dangerously high from all this fighting. Her logical solution to prevent the Demon King from destroying the world out of stress: a mandatory government-funded beach vacation. It's time for the legally mandated anime beach episode. The school is exhausted from the exams, so Korone, the android, decides Akuto needs to lower his stress levels. She basically kidnaps him, Junko, Kina, and Fujiko, and forces them onto a train to a fancy beach resort. Akuto just wants to read a book and relax. But when you are the Demon King, trouble follows you everywhere, even in swimsuits. The comedy is dialed up to 11 here. Fujiko is trying to apply sunscreen to Akuto to seduce him. Junko is flustered and accidentally challenging waves to sword fights. Korone is analyzing everyone's swimsuit stats like a supercomputer. But the fun stops when a massive shadow appears in the water. It's a giant, magical sea serpent, a local legendary beast. The group watches the sunset, enjoying their strange, chaotic friendship. But back at the academy, the gears are turning. A young, weak student has just found a magical artifact in a locker. While Akuto was playing in the sand, a new rival was born. The Demon King is about to meet a hero, and it is going to be incredibly awkward. We shift our focus to Hiroshi Maiwa. Hiroshi is a tiny, cowardly student who gets bullied constantly. He actually looks up to Akuto because Akuto is strong and doesn't take nonsense from anyone. But fate has a weird sense of humor. Hiroshi stumbles into a secret vault and finds the legendary Suit of the Brave. When he puts it on, he transforms. He grows taller, gets a glowing sword, and looks exactly like a Power Ranger. He has become the legendary hero, the destined enemy of the Demon King. Hiroshi doesn't want to fight Akuto. He likes Akuto, but the suit has a mind of its own. It compels him to strike striking superhero poses and yell things like "for justice" in a booming voice. The school administration is thrilled. They finally have a weapon against the Demon King. They force a public showdown in the courtyard. Akuto is so confused. He recognizes Hiroshi's voice under the helmet. He realizes his biggest fan is being forced to fight him. Hiroshi swings his legendary sword, and it actually has some serious power behind it. It cuts through Akuto's dark magic shields. This is a brilliant character moment for Akuto. He realizes that if he beats Hiroshi, Hiroshi will go back to being a bullied loser. But if the hero looks cool fighting the Demon King, Hiroshi will become a legend and get respect. So Akuto decides to act. He fully embraces the villain persona. He starts laughing maniacally, doing evil monologues, and dramatically dodging attacks to make Hiroshi look awesome. He is throwing the fight on purpose to build up his friend's confidence. It is the most heroic thing you can do, but he is doing it by acting like a supervillain. The fight ends in a draw. Hiroshi is celebrated as the protector of the school. Akuto takes the hit to his reputation, smiling secretly because he helped a friend. But this fake fight has real consequences. By acting like a true Demon King, the government takes the threat 100% seriously now. Back at the academy, the romantic and supernatural tensions reach a boiling point. Fujiko Eto, still obsessed with her vision of being the Demon King's queen, begins a secret project in the school's underground dungeons. She intends to hatch a monster egg, a creature of immense power, to present to Akuto as a gift. However, her plan is constantly interrupted by Kina Soga, who has been acting strangely. Kina has been skipping classes to sleep in the woods and eat massive amounts of rice, leading Akuto to worry about her well-being. Akuto attempts to confront Kina about their shared past. He remembers her from the orphanage, and specifically recalls giving her a bird-shaped hair clip, but Kina remains airheaded and claims to have no memory of the event. This creates a rift of frustration for Akuto, who feels a deep, soul-level connection to her that he cannot explain. Meanwhile, a comedic subplot unfolds as a rice thief begins terrorizing the school. It is revealed to be Kina using her invisibility magic. The climax occurs when Fujiko's monster egg is accidentally stolen by Kina and hatches into a giant, two-headed chicken-like beast that begins rampaging through the city. Hiroshi, as Brave, arrives to save a popular idol, further inflating his ego and public image as the hero. Akuto is forced to step in to stop the beast without revealing his full power, as he is still under heavy surveillance by the school and the government. By the end of the episode, a formal letter arrives from the Hattori clan. They have officially accepted a marriage proposal between Akuto and Junko. Junko is mortified and confused, while Akuto is left reeling from the sudden political escalation of his personal life. The plot thickens as Akuto, Junko, Hiroshi, and Korone travel to the Hattori family estate for a formal omiai, marriage interview. The Hattori clan is a prestigious lineage of ninjas and mages dedicated to protecting the empire. Akuto, being socially dense, views the meeting as a purely diplomatic negotiation to ensure he isn't hunted by the clan, while Junko is a nervous wreck, struggling with her growing genuine feelings for him. The estate is filled with traps and elite ninjas testing Akuto's reflexes at every turn. While Akuto is away, Kina is left alone at the academy to celebrate her birthday. However, she is targeted by a group of assassins sent by the gods, the collective artificial intelligence that governs the world's magic and fate. They view Kina as an error or a singularity that must be deleted. Just as she is about to be captured, Yamato Boichiro, a high-ranking government official with his own dark agenda, appears. He rescues Kina, but reveals that he only wants her because she is the terminal, required to communicate directly with the law of the world. At the Hattori estate, Akuto receives word that Kina is in danger. His demonic aura explodes, shattering the estate's magical barriers. He realizes the marriage interview was a distraction to keep him away from Kina. In a show of terrifying power, Akuto rejects the Hattori alliance and uses a high-level teleportation spell, something usually impossible for humans, to return to the school. He confronts Boichiro in a brutal battle. When Boichiro severs Akuto's arm, Akuto doesn't flinch. He uses his overwhelming mana to instantly regenerate the limb, shocking everyone. He declares that if the gods or the world's laws want to hurt Kina, he will gladly become the monster the legends say he is and destroy the world itself to protect her. Akuto has declared war, but right now, it's just him, 3 girls, and a dragon against the entire military force of the nation. He needs a base of operations and an army. he abandons the school and flies Peterhausen to the ruins of the old Demon King's castle. The ruins are massive, creepy, and perfect for a villain's lair. As soon as Akuto sits on the ruined throne, the magic of the castle reacts to his DNA. The ground rumbles and the castle begins to rebuild itself. But a king needs an army. The dark mana pulsating from the castle acts like a beacon. Thousands of magical beasts, monsters, and outcasts who were oppressed by the government start marching toward the castle, and they pledge their loyalty to Akuto. Fujiko, who always wanted to be a queen, takes charge of the logistics. She organizes the monsters into a terrifyingly efficient militia. Junko, the former strict honor student, becomes his vanguard general. While Akuto builds his forces, the show cuts to Hiroshi, the hero brave. The government orders Hiroshi to lead the assault against Akuto. Hiroshi is torn. He knows Akuto is actually a good person fighting a corrupt system, but the suit of the brave is programmed to destroy the Demon King. The system is forcing best friends to fight to the death. The episode does a great job of showing the political manipulation behind wars. The public is told Akuto is a monster trying to end the world, completely unaware that the government is the real threat. The episode ends with a massive visual of the two armies. The government's shiny mechanical magic fleet is hovering on the horizon. Akuto's dark, chaotic monster army is roaring at the gates. The tension is palpable. Akuto looks at Kina, promises to protect her, and draws his dark magic blade. The clash of light and dark is here. With Akuto labeled as a public enemy and the school under martial law, the supporting cast finally takes center stage. Junko Hattori, Fujiko Eto, and even the usually stoic Korone realize that the government's justice is a sham. Fujiko, showing her growth from a manipulative social climber to a genuine ally, uses her underground connections and her army of demon beasts to organize a student resistance. She realizes that her dream of being the queen to Akuto's king was shallow, and she now fights to protect his right to live as a human being. Junko, struggling with her duty as a ninja of the empire, eventually chooses her heart over her clan, drawing her sword against the government's elite mages to clear a path for Akuto. The conflict escalates when Teruya Eiko reveals her true colors. She has been working with Boichiro all along, hoping to secure a high-ranking position in the New World Order. She uses advanced anti-magic technology to suppress the students' abilities, leading to a brutal skirmish in the school hallways. Meanwhile, Hiroshi, brave, is caught in a moral crisis. He sees Akuto's demonic power flares and thinks he must fulfill his destiny as a hero by slaying him. However, during their duel, Akuto refuses to kill Hiroshi, instead pointing out that Hiroshi is just another puppet being used by the system. As the battle rages, Boichiro successfully captures Kina and takes her to the island of the dead, where the physical hardware of the system, the gods, is housed. Akuto, sensing Kina's distress, enters a state of absolute focus. His mana output becomes so immense that it begins to warp reality around him, manifesting as a dark, draconic aura. Korone, acting on her secret directives as an observer, provides Akuto with the location of the island. The episode ends with the girls and the surviving student body holding the line at the academy, while Akuto flies toward the final confrontation, leaving his humanity behind to save the girl who gave him his first piece of kindness. The series finale takes place at the heart of the system on the island of the dead. Akuto arrives to find Boichiro already initiating the contract with the law of the world, using Kina as the medium. Boichiro explains that by merging with the system, he can create a world of perfect order, where conflict no longer exists. Akuto counters this by arguing that a world without free will is just a graveyard. The two engage in a climactic magical duel. Boichiro uses ancient, high-level spells that manipulate the laws of physics, but Akuto's raw mana, fueled by his sheer willpower to protect Kina, allows him to regenerate and counter every attack. In the heat of the battle, Akuto manages to reach Kina's consciousness. He reminds her of the bird-shaped hair clip and their promise at the orphanage. This emotional breakthrough causes the system to malfunction, as Kina's zero-number authority begins to reject Boichiro's commands. Realizing he is losing control, Boichiro attempts to delete the system entirely, which would result in the death of everyone on the island. Akuto is forced to make a final, impossible choice: become the true Demon King to absorb all the mana and save the people, or let the system collapse. Akuto chooses a third option. He uses his power to overwrite the law of the world itself. He doesn't destroy the gods, but he strips them of their power to dictate human fate. In a blinding flash of light, the system is reset, and Boichiro is defeated, vanishing into the mana stream. In the aftermath, the world returns to a state of relative peace, though it is now a world where the future is unwritten. Akuto remains at the academy, still officially the Demon King, according to his prophecy, but the fear surrounding him has begun to fade. The series ends with a poignant scene of Akuto and Kina together. Though the world still views him as a monster and her as a threat, they are content because they finally have the freedom to define themselves. Akuto looks at the horizon, knowing that while his journey as a Demon King has just begun, he is finally the one holding the pen to his own story.